Hi guys, Dark Aperture here, and today I'm back with a $400 game PC. As you can see, this is different. It says with Richland APU, because there's a new gen of AMD APUs out, and I want to make some systems based on these APUs. Update most of my budget builds and all, so let's just get started. Here's the parts list. I'll give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, moving on. Now for the processor, I'm with the A10-6800K. This is the new top-of-the-line APU. It's based on a new architecture. It's 4.1 gigahertz, and even then you can still overclock it quite a bit, especially with this cooler. It should offer a performance improvement over Trinity. Probably will too. And like I said, it will overclock even further from 4.1. And it's $150. So it's pretty good. So it's not the best deal, but it's a new architecture. These new CPUs tend to cost more than the previous ones before them. Now for the CPU cooler, I have a Cooler Master Hyper 212 Plus. Now since you're probably going to overclock the CPU, you need a good cooler. So I went with the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Plus. Now this is pretty much the best budget cooler out there. Cooler Master makes some of the best coolers you've ever seen this price. And it's no secret too. Just look at pretty much any budget build that has a added in heatsink, and there's chances are it'll be a Cooler Master Hyper 212 series fan cooler. In fact, this Hyper 212, the Hyper 212 Evo, its older brother, competes with some more expensive liquid coolers, which means this one should do pretty well too. And it's all for $25. Oh, I've never seen such a good deal for a cooler before. Not since the Hyper 212 Evo. Now for the memory, I will have G-Scale Ripjaws X 4 gigs of DDR3 1866. Since APUs still don't have their own built-in memory, wish AMD would do that sometime, but it might compromise performance. You will need some fast RAM, unlike most gaming PC builds with, say, normal CPUs, since they use a separate graphics card. Now, with 1866 RAM, that's pretty much a golden standard for APUs. It's just a very high quality RAM from G-Scale. G-Scale is always great. And 4 gigs is enough for gaming. Like it or not, sure you might struggle occasionally, but they can upgrade to 8 gigs. And this is $40 too, so that's a pretty solid deal. Now for the motherboard, I went with the MSI FM2 A75MA E35. Sure, it's a long name, but this pretty much has everything you need. You can overclock, you can get USB 3 and SAS6. In fact, those come with the board. I didn't say they were not an option. That'd be stupid. Dual channel DDR3. That's enough for the RAM sticks. Now here's some advice from me. You should spend more than $100 on an FM2 board, especially if you're a budget builder. I know there's the A85X boards. It might seem tempting, but AMTUs are meant for budget. I'll do a high-end APU build, that's true, but they're mostly meant for budget, so I don't recommend it. And this is just a great board in general. It's all for $60. That's pretty good for what it's worth. Now for the hard drive, I went for 250GB Caviar Blue. Notice the refurb because it's a lot cheaper, and this is low capacity. This isn't 250 gigs. It's not a lot of space, but 7200 RPM performance. It's a reliable drive. Don't care about the refurb. That just got some warranty issues. And it's $45, which is pretty good. Now for the power supply, I went for Corsair CX430. This is a standard for budget builds. This power supply will be overkill for the system, but who cares? Who cares if it's overkill? You might want to have 6670 in the future. This is a reliable power supply, which is a must for any build. If you see a build for cheaped out power supply, I've only done one of those, and that was a $200 to $220 build, then I don't recommend gain it. It should be one of your last options. Just try and avoid builds of cheap power supplies as much as you can, but if you have no choice in a certain price range, just go with it. It's not quite as bad, but I recommend replacing the power supply as soon as possible. Anyways, this power supply is very good, high quality, for 45 bucks. Now for the case, cheaping out has to be an option here, stay within budget. Oh, I also skipped the optical drive, but who cares. Now for the case, I went with the A10-6800K. It's not a very good case at all. In fact, it kinda sucks. But who cares? It'll hold everything in this build. It'll be a bit flimsy, but that's what you're getting for $25, which is a pretty good deal for this case. Apex is pretty good for budget cases. They're the only people I've seen who make cases that don't blow up when you touch them at this price level, no pun intended. So that's the whole system. The total price is $399, which is good, pretty good. Now if you like this build, subscribe to me, Dark Aperture, if you enjoyed, and goodbye. We'll try and make a high end, which I say loosely, APU system. It won't be about breaking $1,000, that'd be stupid since you can get a system that's way better for the same price, but it will have some pretty good stuff. Expect DDR3 2133, liquid cooling, like an SSD, and A85X board, of course. That's pretty much it. Subscribe to Dark Aperture if you like this build. It's one of the first virtual APU systems you've ever seen. May not be the first like I did of Haswell, but who cares? And like this video too, it'll help me out. Bye.